All right, the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office has released a trove of new evidence involving last year's deadly on-set shooting of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, including a video where actor Alec Baldwin is shown drawing his gun in rehearsal for a scene moments before he actually shot her. And a police interview with Baldwin shot just hours after the incident shows this. Take a listen.
When I shot the gun away from the cameraman, I didn't aim the gun at the camera. I turned and I went like this to aim the camera, and she was there, and the gun went off, and she just went right on the ground.
All right, the Santa Fe County Sheriff, Adam Mendoza, said today that nobody, including Baldwin, is off the hook when it comes to criminal charges, and it's too early to rule anything out. Well, joining us now is someone who's closely been following this case, journalist and author of EmilyPostNews.com, Emily Miller. Emily, good to see you again. I want to play you a clip from Alec Baldwin's interview with the police that was released today. Take a listen.
Have you, in your experience, ever been told that you're not supposed to cock the gun?
No.
No, you're okay
He wanted me to cock the gun in the scene.
Okay.
He wanted it as part of the scene. He said, "I'm going to take the gun out, turn, and cock it into to the right, my left, to their right of the lens."
All right, so Emily, I just want to let's walk through this slowly. He says, "Were you ever told not to cock a gun?" He says, "No, I was never told not to do that." Right? This is a revolver, right? So anyone who's familiar with a revolver knows that pulling back the hammer is basically like pulling back the trigger. So would someone like Alec Baldwin, who's on a set, who's going through this kind of stuff with guns, have been required to undergo any kind of training with a firearm?
Yes, and he did. He said he went through training. He said he went through training for 4 years. So he also has said that he knows not to point a gun at someone else, and he knows not to pull the trigger. It's not just you and I both know that these are if you're a gun owner, these are the safety rules. But Alec Baldwin has said that he knows as an actor that these are the rules of the industry. And there's documentation the sheriff has shown, the documentation that he has had all this training. He knows what he was doing. He made a really, really bad error in this time.
So Emily, let me play another clip that was released from the police. Watch.
And I was told by Halls that when they took the gun away and looked at him, every round inside the gun was a cold round, except the one round was not only a hot round, it was a live round, it was a bullet. If you're telling me that that's what came out of his shoulder, there's something really, really scary going on here.
All right, so the sheriff has said there was because there was a live ammo. Obviously, that's how this incident happened. So who is responsible at the end of the day to check and know if there is a live round or a blank? Is it Baldwin? Is it the armorer, or both of them ultimately?
Well, that's up to the district attorney to decide if there's going to be criminal charges. And oddly, the sheriff has just poured out this huge dump of evidence yesterday in this. All the reporters got this file with all these videos, all these documents, all this stuff in an open investigation. It's very strange why they're doing it this way. And the sheriff has said they still don't have the body, they still don't have the medical examiner's report, and they still don't have the FBI ballistics checks. They still don't have the data on Alec Baldwin's cell phone. So the investigation isn't complete, but now any potential jury has completely been exposed to videos of Halyna Hutchins dying, bleeding out in a set. All of this, as you're showing me, all this video of Alec Baldwin after the shooting. It's very strange how this is going down, and that the public is getting to see all the evidence way before any charges are announced or even a jury is going to be investigated. But as for your question specifically on whether Baldwin did anything wrong, that is up to the DA, obviously, or the sheriff. As you said, he hasn't decided yet. But really, Baldwin, as you can see, and I watched that whole video a couple of times, he immediately blames everyone else. I mean, we've seen him after the shooting. He was on ABC News in early December. The shooting was October 21st. In early December, he blamed everyone. He said, "I'm not responsible." He said he doesn't feel guilt. He says it's not his fault. He had nothing to do with it. And you can see from the very beginning this happened, he never said, "I shouldn't have pointed a gun at Halyna Hutchins." And Sousa, who's his director, "I shouldn't have pulled that trigger. I shouldn't have pulled back that hammer." He never says those things. Instead, he's pointing blame at everybody else. And he does say, which is interesting, we didn't know before, that there's not supposed to be any rounds in that revolver, not blanks, not nothing. So he didn't even check, because if he had checked, he would have seen that the chambers were empty. And we all know that could have averted this horrible, horrible death tragedy of a young mother and talented cinematographer, Helena Hutchins.